Welcome to Stillwater Edge, the ultimate podcast for stillwater fly fishing enthusiasts. I'm your host, Greg Keenan, and in each short, action-packed episode, I'll share expert tips, essential techniques, and clever tricks to help you elevate your stillwater fly fishing game to the next level. Welcome to the Stillwater Edge podcast. I'm your host, Greg Keenan. Today we're going to talk about a deadly little strategy for finding fish, and that is called fan casting. Well, let's get right to it because it's kind of easy and fun. So what is fan casting exactly? I want you to think of it like this. So if you're standing on a clock face, right, and straight ahead of you is 12 o'clock, so right where I'm standing. So if you're in your boat and you're casting off the side of your boat, that's 12 o'clock, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to start casting at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I need you to work your way through those numbers until you've covered a full arc in front of you, right? Why do we do this? Because it's an organized way designed to cover water effectively. It's a key skill in stillwater fly fishing. Again, it is a key skill in stillwater fly fishing to covering water effectively. Why is it important? Great question. Why is it important? So stillwater is different from rivers. There's no obvious current, no riffles, no runs to tell you where the fish are holding. The fish could be anywhere in still waters. They're often cruising because they have to go find the food. I've always said that. But by fan casting, let's take it a step back. If you were just a fish in front of you at 12 o'clock all day long, well, there's no fish here. You're right. At 12 o'clock, there's no fish. They might be sitting over at 10 o'clock or over at 3 o'clock. So if you're fan casting, what you're doing by fan casting is you're maximizing your areas that you're covering, increasing your odds of intersecting with moving fish because they got to go find the food. That's why it is highly, highly, highly encouraged you learn this skill because it's a highly productive way to fish and cover water. So what makes fan casting so effective? Well, structure and depth. Each direction you cast has a different bottom composition. Weed beds, drop-offs, subtle shelves. Fan casting helps you map this area out without electronics. It helps you figure out where those fish might be in that area. Active search. If nothing's showing up, you're just blind casting and you're scouring. Each retrieve that you do. So when you cast at 10 o'clock, each retrieve you do is data. If you got a take at 2 o'clock, that's a clue where the fish might be. If you consistently get a take at 2 o'clock, now you know where the fish are. That's what fan casting does. So each cast in that area and working that little area is going to give you data. It's a searching pattern and information data. I've always said you got to find the fish. This is data to help you do that. Angle of presentation. Sometimes a fly retrieved across a fish's path gets ignored. But the same fly presented from a different angle, sometimes it gets smashed. Like maybe it's a head-on view, that fish doesn't see it. But a side profile of that fly and it just gets smashed. Let's take a leech, for example. Head-on view of a leech just looks like a tiny little dot. But a side profile of a leech, it's going to be a big, long leech. The fish are going to smash it. So fan casting allows you to work those angles. So here's some pro tips for fan casting before I sum it up, because it's a real good method that you actually need to use within your stillwater toolbox. So use a marker on land. Pick a tree, pick a peak, pick a mountain, pick a rock, shoreline feature to lock in your casting angles and stay methodical. So use that as your 12 o'clock, right? So if you're looking straight ahead at shore, that tree, that big brown tree, the only one there is my 12 o'clock, and then work your angles from there, right? Change your depth, not your direction. Try the same angle with faster sinking lines or with the countdown method. Fish often cruise at a particular depth, right? So keep that in mind, right? So change your depth, not your direction. Keep doing the fan casts. Track your hits. Critical. Track your hits. Mentally track your hits. Right? Log where the strikes come from. If you're consistently getting hits at 2 o'clock, keep returning to there every few casts. That's where the fish are. Let the fly rest after a few casts. So this mimics that natural movement. It lets your fly get deep. So it's critical when fishing those blobs and boobies. So when you cast, let it sit there for a bit. Just let it do its thing. And then start your retrieve. There's nothing wrong with that. And then stop and retrieve. It's great. Next thing is stay mobile. So if you fan cast out, you've had no touches, consider a short move. Honestly, work down a little bit further, make your 12 o'clock now move further down in that area that you're working, right? The keys to stillwater fishing is persistence and it's effective movement. So you always got to search. You are always finding those fish because they're always moving too, right? So you need to move with them. All right, guys. So that's it for today's show. Quick little episode. I absolutely love it. Fan casting is a skill set that you actually need in Stillwater. You're going to cover a lot more water. You're going to find fish more importantly. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Leave a review. Tell me if you got any ideas or anything like that for something you want to talk about. Tell me your tips for fan casting. Leave it on social media. I want to know. I always love to learn more tips. So let's do it. Let's help each other. Let's get this Stillwater community growing. As always, tight lines, and I'll see you on the water.